kitchen. Thank you for joining me, and today's recipe is from my 4 Seasons Ninja Foodie cookbook, and in there you'll find the full list of ingredients. And if you need any of the equipment that I use during the recipe, then just go over to my website and it'll be linked on my accessories page for you. I really hope you enjoy this recipe. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button for me, and if you're new to Susannah's Kitchen, then subscribe to my channel for new weekly content. I'd love to see some of your creations, so don't forget to add them to my Facebook group and tag me in on my social media platforms. The links are all down below in my description. So I think we've got everything covered. Let's start cooking. I'm making the most delicious pork loin with stuffing, which is perfect for a Sunday roast. And we're starting off making the stuffing. So we've got a knob of butter that I'm melting on sear and saute. And into there, I'm adding my diced onion and also my diced celery. Now we just really want to soften these down. So the best thing to do is to add a little bit of salt into those as well. That's just going to help them. Now I'm going to turn down the sear and saute now that we've got a good amount of heat in there, and just let these slowly soften down until they become really nice and tender. The herb that I'm using is sage because it's going to go so well with the onions. Love sage and onion stuffing. And whilst I'm letting this just soften down, I'm going to go and prepare everything else. Now I will need this to cool fully before I make this into my stuffing. The smell of sage is coming up really nicely from that. So the sausages that I have chosen for this are these ones that you can get from Tesco's. They are pork, apple and cider sausages. Now you may be able to get something like this from your butchers as well, and you choose whatever you want. And these are 4 large sausages. Look at those, they are chunky sausages and they weigh 440 grams. So I don't want the skin on these sausages, so that is fairly simple to take those out. So just score them along the edge. As long as you've scored it enough, maybe not quite enough, then you'll be able to grab the skin and literally just take that skin off, and then you have just got the sausage meat there. And then I want to mash these down. Let's just get the rest of that skin off. I've not done a very good job of this as I'm showing you. That's typical, isn't it? This is quite a tough skin. They do vary, don't they, on sausages? I had some the other day, literally just slipped off. There you go. It was really easy. So just discard the skin. We don't want that, and we just want the meat. And then we have got breadcrumbs in here, which I've just whizzed up. So I'm using fresh breadcrumbs that I have made. And then, of course, I've got the onion, celery, and the sage, and that is just cooling on the side now. So I'm just preparing what I'm putting in the bottom of my Ninja pot. So when we cook the roast pork above it on the rack, you're going to get the flavours, and then we can use this for a gravy afterwards. So my bottle of cider is 500 mils, so I might as well use it. Tip that in the bottom. Smells so good, really appley, really nice. Look, I've made that froth up really bad. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water. There would be enough liquid there if you just wanted to use it on its own, but I kind of want to dilute it down a little bit. So I've just got some water there. If you've got a smaller bottle of cider, I mean, I'm not a cider person, so I don't know what size bottles they normally come in, but if you can get a smaller bottle, then just top it up with more water. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so I've got a large apple here. The label off, don't need that. Now my apple, I'm going to peel it because I want this to mush right down in the gravy and just give us that nice little hint of sweetness. And therefore it's just going to be better if it's peeled from the start. I really think the combinations of this pork work really well. So you've got that flavour of like the apple and the cider, and that runs through the sausages as well because we've got the apple in the sausages. So that all ties together nicely. And then of course we've got the sage and onion, which is just a classic, isn't it really? So really good flavours all working together. Unfortunately, we got a little bit of a bad apple there, but I'll just cut out the bits that I don't want to use. That's typical, isn't it? Okay, great. So now all I'm going to do is just cut this into some slices, and they are going to melt away when they are cooked. So lay those into your liquid. I'm going to put some garlic in as well. Now again, the garlic is going to mellow down. You know, it's not going to be really, really potent. So don't worry about the amount that we're using with the garlic. You want to put it in as cloves. Garlic peeled, let's put that in too. So I've mashed up my sausages, and you can see, look here, you can see like the little lumps of apple that are in here. So good. I'm really looking forward to this pork. Everybody loves their crackling, particularly my husband. So you've got a nice combination with this because you've got the soft pork and the beautiful, rich, flavoured stuffing in the middle, and then that crispy crackling on the outside. It's just so nice. So these have cooled down. So in they go to my stuffing mixture. And let's now mix these together. And because we've got that butter that we cooked the onions and everything in, that's adding a real richness to this as well. And then I'm going to start adding my breadcrumbs in and just combine everything together. Now the sausages have got a lot of seasoning in them already, so that's why I don't feel that I need to be too heavy on the seasoning in here. The work's kind of really done for us by using those sausages. However, I will put some salt and pepper into here, but I think that is all I'm going to do. I think that is everything that I feel that I need. So here we go, some black pepper and some salt. So let me show you my pork. I've got the crackling, well, what will be my crackling here. That has been dried, salted, dried again, just to make sure that we remove any moisture from that. I will kind of dry it off before I start cooking it, and I'll add a little bit of oil and salt to that. So let's flip this over, because we now need to add our stuffing in here, and then we need to be able to roll it up and then string that together. So let's grab our stuffing. If I have got too much stuffing, then I am quite happy to make some extra stuffing balls, but hoping that this is about right. Really want to spread it out so that we've got a nice layer. Don't worry at this stage if you get any little bits that are kind of falling from the edges. We can tuck all that in at the end. This is when it's quite handy if you have an extra pair of hands to help you to string this. Well, maybe you're used to doing it and you find it quite easy. Put this stuffing right to the very edge, because I think it's quite nice to be able to see that stuffing in there. Right, so that is fully covered. So now all I would do is roll it in very simply like this, and then string it, and then push all of this flat on the end so that you've encased your stuffing really nicely. So this is what your pork's going to look like when it's all tied up. So I've gone with 4 pieces of string to hold that together. We've got that crackling ready to go. Look at that, the fat has been scored. Beautiful, it's going to be gorgeous. And then we have got all of that stuffing going round inside that pork. Moving over to the bottom there, as I showed you earlier, I've got cider, water, apples and garlic in there. So I'm now ready to start cooking my pork. I'm going to get the probe from the side, just unravel that. Take your little stopper just out of the lid there, and we can insert the probe in. Now with the probe, you really want to get this end in the thickest part of your meat, and it's not always easy to do so, so I often use a meat thermometer to double check it after as well. But you know, this is pretty good. The Ninja will cook it to your liking. It's just getting the placement right, which is down to you really. So we've got the liquid in the bottom, we've got the apple, the garlic, we've got the rack, we've got our gorgeous piece of pork. Let's lower that in. Okay, let's now see if this is going to be a little bit on the high side. It may be, you know. That is the only thing is when you've got a big piece of meat like this, sometimes the rack will lift it up a little bit too high. And we don't want to burn the crackling. We want the crackling to be delicious. But don't worry, because there are options here. My first option is the bottom of the air fryer basket. So that's like the trivet, I call it. And that just takes that a little bit lower. I think if it was that way, oh, I don't know, we might still, yeah, that might work actually. We are still off of the liquid. As long as you're off of the liquid, that is all that matters. Look at that. That sits now so much lower, which is how we want it. So you've got that little bit of space up above, so this isn't going to burn. Great. I'm going to do mine like that. If your piece of pork's a different size and it will fit on the rack, then brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it up on its side just to show you. Okay, so I need a thick piece of pork in the middle here. I think I'm going to go in there, just like that. Now, it is a little bit more tricky if you've got the stuffing inside it like I have, but try and choose a piece, you know, that you think is going to work the best. Let's have a little look on the other side. Yeah, I think that's good really. I think that's going to be fine. Right, sit that back down. We've got the probe inserted. Just make sure that's right in the middle and not in the liquid. We are good. And close the lid. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of rejigging. Okay, here we go then. So middle section here, combi steam is what you are looking for. And we want to steam roast this piece of pork. Now you can do this manually or you can use the presets, and I prefer to use the presets. So you can change it here, and I want to select pork. Now I do find with the Ninja that sometimes it can overcook your pork, and obviously we don't really want that to happen. We want it to be lovely and juicy and tender still. So we've got the options here of medium, medium well, and well. Now you would think, wouldn't you, that you would want to put this onto well because we want our pork to be cooked through. But because we're going to rest it and because of how long it cooks, I know a lot of people will go just medium, but I would probably opt for medium well for me. So I'm going to go medium well on the preset of pork steam roast. The pork turned out absolutely perfect cooked in this way. I hope you've enjoyed the recipe and that you give this a try. And if you wish to purchase any of my other cookbooks with delicious recipes just like this one, then please head over to my website, which is www.susannaskitchen.uk.